You're listening to Daily Horoscope for your zodiac sign with Stephanie Campos. I'm your host, Stephanie Campos, and I am a practicing astrologer, psychic medium, and witch. In each daily episode, I covered a detailed overview of the astrology of the day and what you can expect from full moons to Mercury retrogrades. I've got you covered. And of course, there is always a personalized horoscope for your zodiac sign. If you scroll down in the show notes, there are always timestamps included for your convenience. And a quick pro tip before we dive in, I do recommend listening to your horoscope based on your rising sign for more accuracy. And if you are loving this podcast, don't be shy, leave a rating. Hell, even a review. I'm a one human show and produce each and every episode every day just for you. And your support means so much. Now let's get into the astrology of the day. This is your daily horoscope for Thursday, December 4th, 2025. And OMG, we have a full moon today. But the action starts out around 2 a.m. when the moon in Gemini forms an opposition with Venus in Sagittarius. And this is going to feel like our relationships are under the spotlight. Maybe there is some sort of disagreement or tension in a relationship, but it could also give you the opportunity to excavate any issues you've ignored and create a healthier or more solid foundation for the future. This could also look like a creative project reaching a new level, or you sharing some of your work in a different way. If you're asleep at this time, maybe you're dreaming about an ex. Maybe there is some sort of relationship pattern or dynamic that is coming through in the symbolism of your dream that is worth reflecting on a little more. Okay, we're going to get into the full moon in Gemini, the final full moon of the year. But first, I have something exciting to share. For the past 8 weeks, I have been teaching my first ever class called Grimoire. It's 8 weeks to becoming a better witch. Every week there's a different subject or topic. We dive into tarot, we dive into astrology, planetary magic, communicating with your spirit guides, healing your ancestral line, working with ancestral veneration practices and elevation practices. And it's been so fun. And December 4th is the 8th class I'm teaching, my final class of that series. However, I am gearing up to expand this course. Next year, I will be offering it again starting in March, and it is going to be a year-long course. So every month, we will focus on a specific topic. At the start of the month, you will have a pre-recorded lesson that drops, and you can listen to it at your convenience. And every month there will be a live session for us to gather, for us to discuss the topics, for you to ask any questions, to do group exercises and practice. And I'm really excited about this. And I'll be obviously incorporating 4 more topics into the coursework. And I really can't wait. So I hope to see you there. There is a link to register in the show notes, obviously. But if you're someone who is interested in the spiritual realm, in your own relationship with your intuition, in learning astrology, whatever it might be, this is the space for you. This is a place to get started, to pay attention to which types of practices and divination pique your interest, to kind of create this foundation of spiritual practices and help you connect with your own ancestral wisdom and magic as well. I am really looking forward to making magic together, and I hope to see you there. Okay, but you want to know about the full moon in Gemini. Totally understandable, so let's get into it. This full moon in Gemini is taking place at 3:14 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's taking place at 13 degrees. So if you have any planets or placements around 13 degrees of Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, or Pisces, you're the main characters. Now, something I literally just realized 3 seconds ago as I'm looking at the birth chart for this lunation is that this full moon is square the nodes of fate and destiny. OMG. So even though this isn't technically an eclipse, this full moon is activating the nodes of fate and destiny, and it might bring in that feeling of fated events, fated beginnings and endings, maybe more so endings or moments of culmination taking place. So what do we experience when the moon is full in Gemini? Gemini is all about communication, the mind, learning new things, duality. So this can coincide with the climax of an ongoing conversation. It could be a moment where you're making an important decision. It could be a moment where you are leveling up a certain skill that you've been working on or a craft. This is the axis that has to do with teaching and learning. So there could be something about that is folded into your world as well. And the sun is in Sagittarius, which has to do with our beliefs, our hopes, the big picture and the world, it's worldliness. Sagittarius is the traveler. And Gemini is representative of our local community, right? The people you interact with every day in your life, your neighbors, your barista, people at work, et cetera, et cetera. So this is a powerful time to think about how you can get involved in your local community to kind of send out that ripple effect into the collective and make a difference. Now, this full moon is taking place in the second decan of Gemini, which is associated with the 9 of Swords. And this can create an overactive mind. So this could really create this environment where there's a lot of information coming at us. Maybe it's hard to process, or maybe you are anxious about something, or maybe you're trying to respond to all of these text threads and do some work emails and take care of what's in front of you in your real life. So it can stir up this busy and anxious energy as well. So proactively working on grounding exercises, getting back into your body, because Gemini is this air sign, will definitely help under this lunation. Another thing that is important to name that just really goes hand in hand with this full moon in Gemini, and I've been talking about teaching and education and learning as themes coming up under this full moon. We know that the current administration is trying to get rid of the Department of Education, and that they have also excluded certain degrees and programs as no longer classified as professional degrees, which include nursing, physician assistants, physical therapists, audiologists, architects, accountants, educators, social workers. Wow. When you think about a lot of these degrees, they tend to affect femmes, women, people who are part of the LGBTQIA community, and that's deliberate. Okay, so you may be asking, why does it matter if whether they deem it professional or not? Well, it matters because some people may no longer receive the same financial support for their degrees if they're not deemed professional. Students could therefore struggle to cover the costs, and it could deter some people from pursuing these career paths and trajectories. Most likely, this is going to affect like student loans, and this is most likely going to affect people of the global majority. It's going to require more upfront costs to pursue these professions. So what is the solution? This, I do not know. This is a big question, but I think it is important for us to remain informed, to continue talking about this, to continue resisting and protesting in whatever ways we can, whether it's through literal protest or boycotting or divesting or having important one-on-one conversations or sharing information on social media. It's important that we don't just normalize seeing headlines like this. So perhaps under this full moon in Gemini, you want to use your voice, your lived experience, your wisdom in some way to speak out about what matters and to create a ripple effect in the collective for the better. Aries, this full moon is taking place in your third house of communication, information, your relationship with siblings, extended family members, as well as learning and new skills. If you've been studying something new, this can mark an important turning point in your own proficiency. If you have any issues or situations with siblings, extended family members, or even best friends that have been bubbling up, this can mark a climactic shift to that narrative or situation. And information and conversations that take place under this full moon also have the potential to shift your personal perspective and understanding of the world at large. You may also feel an added desire to communicate and self-express. And while typically this would be a great full moon to do so, just try to remember that we do have that square and influence from Neptune. So you might want to wait a few days before baring your soul and wearing your heart on your sleeve. Taurus, this full moon is taking place on your financial axis, bringing a moment of culmination or transformation to your personal resources. You could be wrapping up a work project or contract. Maybe you're deciding to move on from a current role or obligation. It's also possible that you're up for a raise or a promotion, or you're really rethinking the way you interact with your finances and your budget. This can also bring an important revelation regarding your own personal value system, and you may feel called to express some of your thoughts and beliefs around this time. Gemini, the full moon is happening in your sign, and this puts the spotlight on you. This can be an incredibly tender and sensitive time as you become more aware of your own sense of self and parts of yourself that you may have been repressing. This is a wake-up call to step deeper into your authenticity and to pursue your personal needs and desires. The process of advocating for yourself and stepping deeper into alignment with who you truly are can also shift some of your personal relationships. This can bring a moment of tension or transition with your one-on-one relationships, whether that's romantic, a business contract, family dynamics, or even with a best friend. If you have been working on some sort of collaborative project, it also may reach fruition around this time. Cancer, the full moon in Gemini is moving through your 12th house of subconscious healing and closure and reminds you that rest is key to maintaining your overall well-being, your physical, mental, and spiritual health. This is an important time to get back on track with your daily habits, routine, and to cut out any self-defeating habits or behaviors that have ultimately been keeping you further away from your goals and your dreams. Your intuition is also incredibly active under this full moon, so you'll want to pay attention to the signs and symbols as well as the synchronicities that show up in your dreams and your waking life. If you are moving through a cycle of release, surrender, or grief, honor your body and spend some time in your own energy and prioritize regulating your nervous system in ways that feel the most supportive for you. Leo, this full moon is moving through your 11th house of friendships, community, as well as hopes and dreams for the future. On one hand, a personal dream or goal may be materialized or make some exciting progress under this new moon, but you may recognize that it's going to require more commitment than you really initially had anticipated. This also brings a full moon moment to some of your friendships or communities that you're a part of, and you're really reflecting on your sense of belonging. Who and where do you feel most valued, seen, and appreciated? If there's been any unacknowledged drama in some of your close relationships, it may bubble over under this full moon. You may also decide who and what is worthy of your true energy and effort. This full moon can also bring some drama and excitement to your romantic life. Virgo, this full moon puts your relationship with your career and public reputation under the spotlight. It's very possible that there is a lot unfolding both in your public life and with your personal relationships or family dynamics as well. This could mark a change in status regarding your career or what type of work you want to do and put out in the world. Maybe you decide something that you've been doing truly isn't aligned or fulfilling. This is also an important time for you to reflect on how far you've come and how many major life milestones you truly have already achieved. Think back to the 5th grade version of you, the middle school version of you, and the teen version of you. What would they be so impressed with that you've already achieved today? Libra, this full moon moves through your 9th house of expansion, perspective, and also excitement. Conversations and discussions that take place do have the potential to alter or shift your perspective. You may also feel like you're in the mood to take a risk, try something new, put yourself outside of your comfort zone. This is a great time to book travel you've always wanted to do, or even sign up for a course or class that has interest for you. If you have been studying and taking a course, this can also mark a moment of new proficiency for you. This is also all about sharing your thoughts, ideas, and expertise with a larger audience, whether that's through publishing, broadcasting, or speaking at a conference, or leading an important meeting at work. Your skills are on display. Scorpio, emotionally, this can be a little bit of a more tender full moon for you as it moves through your 8th house of your psyche, your fears, and your relationship with fear, guilt, and shame. This is a powerful time to acknowledge anything that you've been avoiding from your past, to make peace with it, surrender, and extend forgiveness to yourself and even to others if that feels aligned. Financially, this can also mark a turning point with resources, shared investments, and financial support from others. Maybe you're wrapping up a big contract, or perhaps you're landing an exciting new one. Sagittarius, this full moon brings some drama to your important one-on-one relationships. So whether that is romantic, business, BFF, or with family members, you can expect for there to be some bumps in the road and changes along the way. It's also possible that someone in your life needs more of your emotional support. Maybe they're going through a major transition and asking you to show up for them when they need it most. If you're working on any contracts or collaborative projects, some of them may be wrapping up now, or perhaps you've landed a contract you've always dreamed of. Capricorn, it's time to kick that bad habit with the full moon moving through your 6th house of day-to-day routines, well-being, and responsibility. Dedication is the best way to reach your goals, and no other sign knows that better than you. This full moon is pushing you and encouraging you to move in the right direction and take the tiny steps towards shifting your routine. And part of that process is protecting your own time and energy and setting boundaries along the way. This is all about establishing a healthier work-life balance to lead you to a life that feels more fulfilling and aligned. Aquarius, this full moon lands in your 5th house of romance, creativity, pleasure, and joy. For singles, this can be a busier time for your dating life. Maybe you meet someone who has potential for your future, or if you've been dating someone and you're starting to realize this isn't going anywhere, you may decide to call it quits. This can also bring creative endeavors and pursuits to a climax. Maybe you learn some exciting information regarding one of your hobbies or something that you've been doing for joy. And you may be in a more celebratory mood under this full moon, eager to connect with loved ones and friends and really reconnect with the present moment. Pisces, this full moon marks an important transition in both your personal and professional lives as it moves through your fourth house of home, foundations, family, as well as generational patterns. This is a profound healing and cathartic time to release yourself from any patterns, habits, memories from the past that are keeping you playing small or stuck. Situations regarding family dynamics or living situation can also reach an important turning point. And while all of this is going on, you may also be experiencing some sort of major life milestone, whether that's accepting a raise at work, getting engaged, or making progress on a major personal goal. As always, I hope your daily horoscope has offered some guidance and support throughout your day. And if you can't get enough of this podcast and want more horoscopes, I invite you to join me over on Patreon, where every Sunday you gain instant access to 7 episodes of your daily horoscope for the week ahead, a weekly psychic reading, a monthly tarot spread, and a monthly meetup, which ranges from group tarot readings to group mediumship readings and circles to ask me anything about your personal birth chart. These group monthly meetups have been a real highlight over the past few months, and I am enjoying them so much. There is a link in the show notes to join. It is only $10 a month. And I hope to see you there. As always, I'm sending you love, protection, and blessings in every single dimension. Thanks so much, and see you tomorrow.